Hello, 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 hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 14 and has autism. We paint together, working on his fine motor skills. He helps me paint the backgrounds of our paintings, and then I paint the rest. So here I am painting the rest. It's my new little jingle, I guess, that I think is hilarious for whatever reason. I guess you just gotta laugh some days, you know. But I will tell you, the last few days, I've seen so many good moments for my son. He's grown, and I just feel like he's in this really good stage. Because we were having a very hard, I don't even want, like, there's not enough varies. There was very hard summer. And it finally feels like we're kind of in a peaceful little transition of how everything's going. It was one thing after another, you know, and that's life. But sometimes he doesn't understand how things get like that. And so it's kind of hard to think about, hard to explain, hard to know, as even me doing, life with him. It's just, I don't always understand how to process his emotions or what he's going through. He can't explain all the details, even though he is going through some heavy stuff. I can't always understand what it's about or why he's having a rough day. His words do not always communicate the actual sentiment of what he's going through. And so that can be emotional for him. It can be very hard for me because I'm not really understanding what he's going through or what he's needing me to know about or understand or be a part of. And so it's just kind of surreal some days for me, trying to figure out how to like really help him in those moments. So I'm learning, I'm growing, and that's part of the process. That's one of the things I tell him all the time is, mommy doesn't always have all the answers. Mommy doesn't always get it right, but together we're a team, and we're able to kind of go through those things. So, it's a process. It's definitely a process. But he has learned so much, or grown, like in what he's doing and what he's thinking about and how he is handling things in the last few days. I mean, he's really kind of calmed down some to be able to process everything a little bit. He came out of, by the way, I generally use way too much paint on my paintbrush, and some of these paints are a little thinner than they should be. He came out of his therapy today, and he went through so much with me about what he had done with his, what he did with his, each of his therapists. And he, at bedtime, he was able to tell me, I try to get him to understand what being proud of yourself is and what that means. And so I try to ask him what he's proud about, what he's accomplished, and what he thinks is something cool that he's done during that day. Excuse me. And it's different things on different days, and sometimes he can't really articulate or tell me anything for what he's feeling or thinking. But today he told me that he did a great job with his physical therapist. And that is huge. I mean, that just to be able to tell me that he felt like he did a good job. And then his physical therapist, he loves her, but he has a lot of emotional attachments to particular things with her, like her clothes and her hair and just different things. So sometimes he gets a little more sentimental, maybe, about how they kind of work together because of the changes that she makes. And they're very, what one might consider subtle, but once you're in that kind of time and space, to him, they aren't necessarily subtle at all. And so learning to kind of focus on that and help him understand, changes. And when I say simple, to him, they're not, but most people wouldn't consider wearing blue scrubs and teal scrubs something that could cause a meltdown. But for him, that's not a simple choice. That's not something just that he needed her to change or, felt okay if she wasn't going to wear what he expected her to wear. And that's something that we're working through with him because, you can't expect others to always, first of all, know what you're thinking when you're not even, I've got one brush, one bristle. I'm just trying to think what the word is. That kept sticking out, and it was not agreeing with me. Anyways, we obviously don't live with his therapist, so she never knew what he was expecting her to wear on certain days. And quite frankly, she gets to wear what she wants to wear. I mean, that's, and it's scrubs. It's, jogger type pants or different things like that are not, it's not out of her normal range of what she would wear. It's just he would expect certain shirts, certain colors, certain things on certain days. And there was no telling him that wasn't going to be what was going to happen that day. And so that's kind of hard when there's so many expectations that no one can realistically, follow or deal with in the sense of somebody else's expectations or mine. So that's where some of the hard moments have come from with them. And she is so considerate of his emotions and his feelings. And we try to work through that and work with different behavioral specialists over the years to kind of figure it out and help him. And he's been doing really well with it over the last year or so, but he still like wants to request certain things at certain times. But again, he's come so far, and they had such a great day with all three of his therapists today, and that just makes this mama's heart so happy because it feels like huge progress. So hopefully over the next few weeks, now that we've kind of gotten some of the triggers of some of his concerns and meltdowns and things more in the picture, hopefully we can kind of work on those moments and see how we can help him to keep growing. And again, you know, I always tell him, mommy's learning and mommy's growing as well. This isn't just about how he handles everything, because I don't always know how he or I am going to adapt to a situation. And sometimes I'm like preoccupied with the past ways he's handled something, and he's doing excellent now with certain situations that he never was able to handle before. And that's about me kind of growing in those moments as well. So we both have to like give and take in certain situations and how everything is being handled. So I didn't quite pour enough of my green color in here, but I'm going to make it work. I only have like one more little, I think I'm going to put one more little doodad over here. And then I'm going to mush and mash. So anyways, he had a great day. He said he had a wonderful time with her. And that in itself just really just makes my heart so happy, because it's a lot. It's so much for him to think about and deal with, and it's a lot for me to think about and deal with, because I want my baby happy. I want him to have great days, great memories, great moments, you know? That's what I need from my Bowie. That's what I need. That's what I need. And now I'm just going to put some random, like, where there, it's kind of, like it's more flowers, but it's just space takers. So you don't really know it's not a flower, but you really know it's not a flower. It's just space takers. So squish-a-mush. Okay, I think we are there. So I sign O for Owen, and then L and B. There we go. So thanks so much for watching and being a part of our day. Toodles, toodles.